old age and feeling disrespected by children. Applying the teachings of the Buddha to live in peace and happiness. As we age, there's an undeniable truth we all must face: the body weakens, and the roles we once held in our families begin to shift. The very children we nurtured and sacrificed for can sometimes begin to seem distant, unappreciative, or even indifferent. If you've ever felt overlooked or disrespected by the ones you love most, you're not alone. But what if the pain of feeling neglected could be understood and transformed into something powerful? What if the key to peace lies not in changing others, but in changing how we respond? In this video, we'll dive into Buddhist wisdom that can help you navigate these challenging emotions with grace, compassion, and inner peace. Let's uncover how we can transform our relationships and find peace, no matter how life unfolds. The wisdom of letting go of expectations. In Buddhism, one of the core teachings is that attachment is the root of suffering. As we age, our attachment to certain expectations, particularly about how our children should behave towards us, can create unnecessary pain. We expect respect, love, and care in return for all we have done. But when these expectations aren't met, we suffer. The Buddha taught that everything in life is impermanent, and that our suffering arises when we cling to things as if they were permanent. The elderly man began to realize that his suffering was a result of his attachment to the idea that his children should repay his love and sacrifices. His pain wasn't just about their actions, it was about his attachment to how they should act. Understanding the karmic connection with children. But there's more to this than simply letting go of expectations. In Buddhist philosophy, children are not just biological offspring. They are often karmic connections, relationships that have deep roots in past lives. According to Buddhist teachings, we may have unresolved karma with our children, who could come to us as enemy karma, or obstacle karma, bringing challenges or unresolved emotions from past lives. One enemy karma, these karmic connections may arise from past actions, where we have either harmed, or been harmed by someone. In this life, that person may come back as our child, and the unresolved karma creates tension, conflict, or a sense of being misunderstood or mistreated. When we feel disrespected or neglected by our children, we may unknowingly be facing unresolved karma from previous lives. These enemies aren't really enemies, but a part of our ongoing journey to resolve past actions. 2. Obstacle karma. Similarly, relationships between parents and children can be seen as part of our obstacle karma. The obstacles, or challenges we need to face in this life. These challenges are not random, they arise because of our past actions. And they are meant to help us grow. In this context, the suffering caused by our children's behavior may be the very obstacle we need to overcome. Instead of feeling helpless or angry, Buddhist teachings invite us to see these moments as opportunities for self-reflection, growth, and transformation. 3. People who come to repay a debt of gratitude. Not all relationships are challenging. Some children come into our lives to repay a debt of gratitude. These are the children who bring comfort and joy, especially in our old age. They return the love and care we've given them. The joy they bring is a reminder that love, when freely given, does come back to us, often in unexpected ways. 4. People who come to settle a debt of grudge. On the other hand, some children may come to us with unresolved grievances from the past. These children may harbor feelings of resentment or hurt from their upbringing, even if we did not intentionally cause harm. Their actions may be a reflection of those unresolved emotions. But as Buddhist wisdom teaches, these feelings too are part of the ongoing journey of karma. They are not to be taken personally, but rather seen as an opportunity to break the cycle of suffering through compassion, understanding, and, if necessary, forgiveness. The practice of non-attachment and compassion. As we age, we must come to understand that our children's actions are not a reflection of our worth. Instead of reacting with anger or resentment, we are called to practice non-attachment. Non-attachment, as taught by the Buddha, does not mean indifference. It means finding peace within ourselves, regardless of the actions of others. The elderly man in our story began to let go of his expectations. He stopped trying to control his children's behavior, or seek validation from them. Instead, he focused on cultivating his own inner peace. Through self-reflection and meditation, he recognized that his suffering arose from his attachment to how he thought things should be. He also realized the importance of loving kindness. He chose to love his children unconditionally, without expecting anything in return. Whether they visited or not, he greeted them with warmth, and sent them silent blessings. Over time, his peace began to have an effect on those around him. His children, who had once seemed distant, began to return to him not out of obligation, but because they genuinely wanted to be near him. This transformation did not happen because of his children's actions, but because he had changed his response to them. The power of acceptance. The key teaching here is acceptance. The elderly man accepted that not all his children would reciprocate his love in the way he had hoped. Some may remain distant, absorbed in their own lives. But he no longer let that fact disturb his inner peace. Instead, he embraced life as it was, not as he wished it to be. In doing so, he was free from the suffering caused by expectations and attachment. Acceptance is not resignation, it is a wise and compassionate response to life's challenges. In accepting the reality of his situation, the elderly man found a deep sense of peace. He realized that his peace was his responsibility, and that no one else could take it from him. Applying Buddhist wisdom to our lives. 1. Release expectations. Just like the elderly man, we must learn to release our expectations of how others should behave. Our children's actions, whether positive or negative, are part of their own journey. By letting go of these expectations, we create space for peace and acceptance. 2. Practice non-attachment. Non-attachment does not mean indifference, it's about finding contentment within, regardless of the actions of others. This inner peace becomes our anchor in difficult times. 3. Cultivate loving kindness. Offer love and kindness unconditionally. When we give love freely, without expecting anything in return, we open the door for true connection and healing. 4. Practice self-reflection. Spend time in quiet reflection each day. Recognize your own imperfections, and the opportunities for growth. Reflect on how you can be a better parent, not out of obligation, but from a place of genuine love. 5. Accept life as it is. Accepting life as it is, without resistance, opens the door to wisdom and peace. The elderly man's journey teaches us that by letting go of how we want things to be, we can embrace life as it comes, and find joy even in difficult circumstances. The story of the elderly man is a profound reminder that how we perceive our relationships can dramatically change the dynamics we experience. By letting go of expectations, practicing non-attachment, and offering unconditional love, we can create space for peace and acceptance, even when we feel overlooked. Buddhism teaches us that true happiness doesn't come from how others treat us, it comes from within. When we recognize that the relationship between parent and child can be a karmic connection, we can stop defining our worth by others' actions. Their love or neglect is a reflection of their journey, not a measure of ours. By embracing this perspective, we can move forward with peace. Continue to love unconditionally, and transform our own lives, regardless of how others respond. Let's take this a step further. How can we embrace these teachings, and truly transform our relationships? It starts with a deep understanding of ourselves, and the courage to break free from the chains of attachment. Imagine, for a moment, a life where you are not bound by the actions or inactions of others. What would it feel like to be free from the weight of unmet expectations? The answer lies within each of us. By practicing mindfulness, embracing non-attachment, and living with compassion, we not only improve our relationships, but we also cultivate an inner peace that radiates outward. So, as we close today, I invite you to reflect on your own relationships, whether with your children, your family, or those around you. Can you let go of expectations, and truly embrace love, just as it is, without needing anything in return? The path to peace begins with you.